Hello, farmers, and welcome to another episode of the Harvest Season Bug Edition. My name is Cody,
My name is Kevin.
and we are here today to talk about bugs.
You should mix it up and set like a different bug every time, like lightning
Oh,
bugs.
oh, we didn't. Gosh, what did I don't remember what I said last time.
It's fine. It's
Y'all,
fine.
it's been a wild ride.
Let's not. Everyone knows it's summer. These are the Twilight Zone episodes
Yep,
in a place where time has no meaning,
it
even more than normal.
is bug month, y'all. Um, yeah, so this is the second installment of Bug Month. So the first episode should come out last week. And then this episode, we're talking about more bugs and another bug-themed game. So today's game is Budgie's Bug Shop, which Kev and I have played.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to have my little Entymology Corner where I talk about some bug stuff and kind of take you through more bug diversity. But first, Kev, do you have anything to say? Any fun things? Have you seen any cool movies lately?
Um. Yeah. I've seen a few. I had some family over recently. We watched a couple
Oh,
movies. Yeah. I was just visiting. It's no big deal. But what was it? Project Hail Mary. I finally saw Project Hail Mary.
oh, cool. I still haven't seen that. Is it good?
It's very good. Um,
What is this? Is it
yeah,
streaming now?
it is on Amazon Prime. I don't know where else, but it's on Amazon Prime. If nothing else.
Lame.
Yeah. I don't know where else, but it's great. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those movies where there's, well, essentially two, maybe three characters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's really good. I won't go into too much detail because there's. Are you familiar with the premise at all?
Not really. And it is kind of still new. I think we're not out of spoiler territory yet, so we should probably
Yeah.
respect
Well,
the spoilers, but
sure. Well, I'll give the premise at least.
okay.
It's at a nearish future Earth, whatever. Um, where there is this phenomenon where not just the sun, but stars across the system are going out. They're going dark.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah. Um, and so the issue is how do we stop that? But I missed part of the beginning, but I believe that basically they detected one star that does not go out. And so the mission is let's go to that star, figure out what happened there so we can save our sun.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
so it's a Hail Mary.
yep, exactly.
I get it.
hmm Um,
Interesting.
yeah. That is the very, very initial premise, but the what goes on beyond that, there's a lot more going on past that. Yeah, I won't go
Hmm.
detail. I'll say it stars Ryan Gosling in a fantastic performance. Um, there is a second character who actually I don't know the actor's name, but they also did a fantastic performance.
Is it Matt
Um,
Damon?
it is not Matt Damon.
Okay, because
I don't think so. I would
NASA
be
has spent
amazed if it
a
were.
lot of money with Matt Damon
Yeah,
in space.
I guess. Yeah, yes. I would be shocked if it were Matt Damon. Let's say that. Um, when you watch if you ever get around to watching the movie, just imagine you'll know the second character and just imagine they're Matt Damon and that'll take you
Okay.
uh, okay, so that was a good movie. Let's see there's another one. Oh, what was it? Yeah, no, I plumb lost it. I thought I had it. I don't know. Oh wait, no, it was Superman, but I already watched that and talked about it.
Okay.
Superman from last year. That was a good movie. I liked it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Uh, yeah, I think that's the only. Wait, did I talk about the sheep? No, I don't think I have. I watched the Sheep Detectives.
The
Also
what?
the Sheep Detectives.
What is that?
Okay. It's what it says. There is a flock of sheep. Their shepherd is murdered, and the sheep go about solving the mystery as to who murdered
Is
uh shepherd.
is
Wait,
this
I did
animated?
talk.
Is this animated by
Uh,
like the Wallace and Gromit people?
no,
Okay.
I'm thinking now. Wait, I did talk to this about Al because we had a discussion. But no. I'm not. Okay, ignore this. Ignore. I'm talking to myself now. Okay. It is not animated. Well, it is live action, as in Disney live action, because there are real sheep in the movie, but they have animated sheep
Okay.
because the sheep talk amongst themselves, but they do not talk
Hmm.
to people.
Okay.
But there is a whole little village town of human characters as well. Um, and so it is very much a whodunit.
Hmm.
It is a fantastic movie, actually. Strangely, very emotional at times.
Okay.
Like it sounds silly and almost like sort of a kids movie premise, and it kind of is because it's very family friendly and saccharine, but
Hmm.
it's really well done. I had emotions watching little CGI sheep talking about deep meaning questions like the nature of death and
Oh my
life.
gosh.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so fantastic. The humans are fun. The sheep all have fantastic personalities. It's actually an ensemble cast. I don't remember them all, but like Sir Patrick Stewart is one of the sheep, for
Oh my
instance.
gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They went all out. The one human character who definitely stands out is actually the shepherd who passed away,
Yeah.
played by one Hugh Jackman.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, and obviously as the murder victim and dying pretty early on in the film, he has a somewhat limited role, but his presence is pretty strong, and he's Hugh Jackman, so he's
Yeah.
incredibly charismatic and likable, and understandable why the sheep want to solve his murder.
Probably acted the crap out of it. So.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. Um, yeah. So, yeah, The Sheep Detective is fantastic. Like as a mystery movie, like it's okay.
Okay.
It's not a Knives Out. It's not doing anything crazy. No. I called out who the culprit was like pretty early on because
Hmm.
it just does all the tropes and it kind of calls out the tropes like
Hmm.
literally because the thing is Hugh Jackman's character literally like reads to the sheep like every night mystery novels,
Oh
which
my
is why.
gosh.
Yeah.
So they're
Which is
like they're like this is a
yeah.
great a great thing to
Yeah,
like
yeah, we
a
know
great
what to do.
mystery. Yeah.
Yeah, we know the rules. Let's solve this.
All of our
Um
training has prepared us for this moment.
exactly. Exactly. So yeah, so that they go by and so yeah, the mystery's fine, but just the again like the sheep, they're not it's not Disney Bambi type characters. They're
Hmm.
sheepish and maintain all those qualities. So it's very entertaining, very charming, very lovely sort of movie. Easy thumbs up. I haven't watched too many 2026 movies to be frank, but those two are up there, both Project Hail Mary and Sheep Detectives
Okay.
somehow in the
Well,
same
I'll have to
category.
give the Sheep Detective. Well, I was already gonna give Project Hail Mary a pass. Like I was gonna watch it, but I'll have to watch the other one too.
Hmm. Yeah, good stuff. What about you? Anything you want to talk about, or should we just dive into Bug World?
Um, gosh, have I watched anything? I don't really feel like I've been watching movies much. We've been in like packing mode and stuff. So,
Sure,
I
that's
did
live.
re-download and ended up buying because it was going off of Game Pass, Power Wash Simulator. So I've been doing that.
Mm,
Because I
I
need
need to
that.
get into that. I've never played it, but I've always wanted to. Um,
I think it's well worth it. So it's 25 bucks on Xbox Game Pass. I think it's well worth that money. Like I've put in a good amount of time into that. And you don't have to do the second one like right
yeah.
off the bat. Like the first one also holds up. So,
Does the first
um
one have all the DLC, like the crazy DLC, or is that in the second one?
so the first one has like a bunch of DLC that have been like they've added a bunch of extra content that each extra DLC thing like gives like six more things to clean. And I have like for free, I think it has like eight different ones. There are paid DLC as well that I think are like $8 each. And they have things like SpongeBob and Alice in Wonderland and like stuff like that. So, and I think they actually just came out with a oh, what's that Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
It's like what's that star thing everyone likes?
Yeah, what's that? What's that one thing about the Star and the Wars?
Um,
Oh,
yeah, so that one of those just came out.
yeah.
So There's definitely a lot to do there. So if you just need a game that kind of lets you just mindlessly do
Yeah,
thing, I highly recommend it.
I've
So,
got to get on. I want that Final Fantasy 7 DLC.
yup.
Clean up Midgar. um,
Yup.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's a nice little what we've been up to, what we've been doing with our lives. So we'll jump into Cody's Entomology Corner. So this is again where I'm going to talk about some stuff. So before we jump into like going through diversity, Kevin, do you have any itching, burning questions about bugs or bug adjacent things that you would like to ask about?
Oh, I asked one a while ago. Did you answer? I don't know if you did. It
So
was
I
put in the
think I
thread.
think your thread. First of all, I gotta find this thread. I should have been doing this already. Um, but I think your question was just why bugs, if I
No,
remember.
no, there was a genuine one. I think it was conservation success stories, comeback stories. Do you know of any bug comeback stories?
I feel like the Monarch is kind of an in progress one.
Ooh,
Um,
that's exciting.
so that's something that people have, like, we have gotten it fast enough, talked about it soon enough where we actually have time to kind of reverse course. So people were able to tell that there was an issue with monarchs. And part of those declines, because they are so charismatic, like people, they were very, it was very obvious that they were
Yeah.
suddenly not as common anymore. And so we were able to like kind of turn back the hand of time a little bit.
Dick.
And it was mostly just to preserve their overwintering grounds, which is in Mexico, and then making sure that there is enough habitat elsewhere, specifically like milkweed.
Right, right.
So, and I think that's happened. Like, I think we've done a fairly good job
Awesome.
of that. It's still like constantly in progress. And also
Sure.
because now we know about this area in Mexico and that has been preserved for, these things. There are some other issues. Like people want to log in that area, for example. So like, but now at least we've protected it before because it would have sucked if like that had happened and then we were like, wow, now there's really no monarchs, right?
Yeah.
But it's been a really successful campaign of getting people to plant milkweed. They're really charismatic. Another one that's kind of coming up is fireflies. So a lot of folks are noticing there's fewer fireflies. So there's some efforts to kind of bring those back. It's really hard with insects because there's not like a specific individual species. There,
Yeah.
like there is currently only one insect on check this before. It on the endangered species thing, which is that is recognized by the United States at least, the Endangered Species Act, and it's the rusty-patched bumblebee, which is Bombus affinis, and that has been extirpated from much of its range across. Sorry, I'm still trying to like pull this up. Across the United States, but it's still kind of in the mid states. So it's actually impacted some people's ability to do certain research. So I, for example, set traps. Like I just put a trap up and then walk away. But people can't do that anymore because they might collect this insect. Let me see. I'm trying to
That's
see if there's like a specific. Oh, I guess there's also a grasshopper, but rusty patch bumblebee is kind of like another charismatic one. So,
sure. Yeah,
um,
that makes sense.
I think just
I mean,
in general, it's the vibe of trying to preserve insects as a whole. It's really
yeah.
great that has really become a little bit more in the forefront. Not only with bees, though it is really frustrating when, as an entomologist, when people are like, I'm like, yeah, we need to save the bees. And then they talk about the honeybee because that is not native to North America. And like, we're talking about save our native pollinators that often have like really intricate relationships with the flowers that they've co-evolved with, not like basically the chicken, which is we say that the honeybee is basically like a chicken. because it's something that you farm. It's something that we brought in to manage. And it's livestock basically. And if you were to say that you wanted to save birds, like songbirds, the endangered songbirds of North America, and you had a picture of a chicken, like that is the equivalent. That's the equivalent.
Yeah.
Dr. Lawrence Packer from in Canada is the person who came up with that analogy, and we love it. Um,
Strong. Uh,
so, but yeah, I think there has been more of a move. Like honeybees are still important. We still need them for agriculture, whatever. But I think there's been more of a move away from insects are gross, insects are bad, to kind of okay, well, we need them. Like they are important.
they
Uh,
are, as
so
illustrated by 2007's The Bee Movie.
no,
It does, in
Kevin's
fact,
trying to get
tackle
me. Kevin's trying to get me to, um, yeah,
acknowledge the movie.
acknowledge the B movie. And also I have
I,
never watched it. Like I
well,
have,
no joke. It does, in fact, tackle the topic of what happens when you don't have pollinators
that's
anymore.
true. It's true.
Yeah,
Okay, so you asked that question, but you also asked which bug is most likely or already has taken over the world.
I did know
Um,
this one actually.
it was ants.
It is ants. Yeah,
There are so many ants.
it is
Uh,
their world, and we are just living in it now.
Like in your own backyard, there could be dozens of species of ants. And they
Wow.
are just so effective at what they do. They completely restructure their entire ecosystem. So, like, if you have a certain ant species in an area, it can completely change what other insect species you have because they might dominate certain resources that kind of like push out other insects. There are also some ant species that have minimal impact on other species. So it's not like
Hmm.
all ants are bad or anything like that. And often they're doing good things actually for their environment. Not just like pushing things out. Like they might actually bring things in as well. Okay, I was going to go on a bit of a tirade, but I'm not going to about something completely unrelated. But I will talk about that in a different episode because I will make a
Okay.
note to mention
Well,
that.
I will
Um,
say that ants don't just affect other insects. They can have an impact on your life too. Um,
yes.
so one of my favorite little incidents in my current apartment complex.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. I live on the ground floor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there are ants here in southern Georgia, as well as
Mm-hmm.
everywhere else in the world, basically. And one time we had a colony of ants starting to set a nest on our curtains. Um, that
Yep.
was that was wild.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, we got out of it pretty free, but I'm sorry, Cody. We're not okay with a colony of ants living on our
That,
curtains. So
I don't blame you. It's
so
so
we
funny. People are always like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but like, I'm sorry I had to get rid of this bug that was a pest in my home." And I'm like, "I get that. Like, that's okay."
yeah, yeah. I'm like, there might have been a better solution, but we had to act fast because our curtains were suddenly black. Um,
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah, no, ants. I mean, yeah, ants are crazy.
They do be taken over.
Yeah. But going back to the other question, good on the monarchs and the bees. The monarch butterfly and the fireflies.
Mm-hmm.
As a Mexican guy, obviously, like, yeah, monarch butterflies are cool and important, and they go through Mexico, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I know they're all over the place too, but fireflies, man, fireflies are so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't live in area of fireflies until I came to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And man, they really are just kind of magical. You see
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of them. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't seen them until I moved to the East Coast. So there are fireflies on the West Coast, but the species that exist on the West Coast don't bioluminesce. So they don't light up. It's the species that are on the like east of the Rocky Mountains. Basically, they haven't made it over the Rocky Mountains. The Rockies are just this great barrier that kind of divides a lot of ecological communities. The ones on the east side are the ones that actually like light up and do things. And there are some that all light up at the same time, or they almost like might do it in like a wave. They are so cool and so charismatic, and their larvae are predatory and will eat a lot of pest things, and they're just really cool in general. And so that's another thing that like people fondly remember fireflies, or catching fireflies, watching the fireflies, and now we're seeing that there are fewer of them, and people are like, why is that? And so that's another kind of really good indicator, positive experience that people can have that can show them like, hey, we need to protect these things. Because you remember how your parents used to say like the whole backyard used to be lit up and now it's not. Um,
Hmm.
so, but
Oh man.
we will fix them.
You know what? I'll throw another question your way. This you just reminded me.
Mhm.
Did you play with bugs as like, or like what bugs did you play with as a kid? Because I feel like most kids at one point or another play with a bug here and
Okay.
there.
I don't think I have like a specific bug. I definitely I used to catch praying mantises, and then I would feed them. I would then catch grasshoppers and feed them grasshoppers. We used to catch ladybugs and give them to our neighbor lady, because she would put them on her strawberry bushes and then she would make us strawberry pie.
Oh.
I used to take like a Coke bottle, a plastic Coke bottle, and catch bees in it, and then kind of watch them fight, which in hindsight is not great. Um, my mom has this hilarious story of me as a kid where there were a bunch of ladybugs in my babysitter's yard, and um, I thought one had flown up my nose, and I was so worried. Like all day, I'm like, "Mom, I can't get it out. It's gonna die. Like I don't want it to die in my nose. I don't want her to die in there. Like I want her to go and like live her life and like get out of my nose." And my mom was like, "There's not a ladybug in your nose." And I'm like, "There really is." And I wouldn't go to sleep. And she finally was just like, "Okay, fine." And she like plugged one side of my nose or whatever, because whatever side it was, and had me blow as hard as I possibly could. And out popped a unfortunately dead ladybug at that point.
Wait. Oh, it actually was up there.
There
Oh my
was
goodness.
there was a dead ladybug up there. Um,
Woo!
yeah, like if I don't know, if it would have come out eventually, it's fine. But uh yeah. And she was talking about how worried I was for the ladybug's sake, basically. So yeah, I always liked them. I always caught them as a kid. I was never really that afraid of them, but I always thought I was gonna like save the wolves. I thought I was gonna work with mammals, and so I went to school to study mammals, and got my undergraduate degree in fisheries and wildlife. And then during all of that, I got a technician position working on a bee project, and I was like, wait a minute. I actually love this. Like, this is actually great. And my mom was like, yeah, you were always playing with bugs. Um, and so it was just kind of like I hadn't realized that this could be a career. And I can still fall back on like just general wildlife biology, but I just really like bugs and to think they're so important and so not only misunderstood, but also just like people don't even recognize how important they are to their environment, or how diverse they are, or whatever. So I'm here to yap at people about bugs. And then it's also really fun as an entomologist. One of our friends, I want to say it was Name. Ooh, I might be wrong. Um, but someone like texted me the other day and was like, "Hey Cody, what bug is this?" And I could tell immediately. Um, and I was just like, "Oh, it's this." But I'm pretty sure it's this, but let me check. And I was right. But it was just like off the cuff, like gut reaction. And like people are just like, "Oh, you're so cool."
Yeah.
Like I was like, I mean, yeah, but it's also just like really cool to just, I don't know, bugs are cool. Like
Oh.
I think it like people come to me and it's so funny because people are always like, I'm so sorry to bother you, like, but could you tell me what this is? Or and it's just like, please bother me. Please. Like, you could bother me every single day with pictures of bugs, and I would tell you, and I would get so excited every single time. Like, there's never been a moment when someone has told me, hey, can you tell me what this is? And I haven't been excited. I said that, and then I immediately was like, that's not right. The only time I'm not excited is when I then see the photo and it's a Bigfoot photo of a black blur. And I'm like, I can't even tell you if this is a living organism, let alone what. Like, folks, if you want someone, and this isn't just for bugs, like this is also for birds, like whatever. If you want your biology friends to identify something for you, the picture has got to be as best as you're able, clear and in focus. And you aren't moving and they aren't moving and as close as you can get. Like I'm sorry, you can't give me a picture of a football field and then ask me to identify the bug on the 10-yard line. Like I'm not. But yeah, so I mean sometimes I can. Sometimes I'm like, okay, that's not a great photo, but it's this. I know what it is. Some things you can still tell, but for the most part, no.
Oh, that's awesome. Um,
It's really fun. Well, and then whenever we have an in-person, I haven't seen you in person at any event yet, but when we have like in-person Pokemon events with our friend group, we always, if we're like walking around at like a park or something, I will eventually find like a bug, and then it's like everyone kind of crowds around me, and I'm telling like our friend group, oh, here's the cicada and here's what it does. And here's like, I'm like showing it to everyone. And then suddenly I look up and there's like 30 other people watching and like trying to get a good look. Cause it's usually at like Pokemon Go Fest or whatever. And so, and I'm all excited about this bug. And I'm just like, oh, do you guys want to see it? Like, so it's really funny, but
oh,
I really
that's
enjoy it.
awesome.
I wish someone would pay me for it. Maybe one day. It's just not a great
Oh,
time right now for that, but it's all good.
it's not. If it's any condolence, it's not a great time for a lot of things and people right now.
Correct. And sometimes you just have to be like, okay, like
Yeah,
we're just gonna move on with our lives.
yeah.
Okay. We should probably get into this diversity stuff and then talk about Budgie's bug shop. Um, So how this works, Kev, and folks, is I'm gonna kind of go through the diversity of bugs. So last time I talked about where insects are within the like larger group of arthropods, and how they're related to things like shellfish, crustaceans, like spiders, millipedes. But then within that, there's hexapoda, so 6 legs, and insects are within that, along with some other groups. And within insects, there are those who do not have wings, which I talked about. And then today we're going to start getting into the winged insects. So everything else, all other bugs from here on out, are within the group Pterygota, which literally just means winged. So these insects have wings or evolved from groups that had wings at some stage. Some insects lose them or might drop their wings, but at some point in their life stage, they had wings or something similar to a wing. That sound good, Kev? You have any questions, or are you good to just for me
Uh,
to just yap on?
yep, yap on.
Okay. So within the winged episode insects, there are 3 groups, and I'm going to cover 2 of them today. So one of those groups is called Paleoptera, or ancient wing. And so the Paleoptera, like this group, was put together initially by scientists because they thought that they didn't fold their wings. So they didn't like put their wings back against their body. They either held them out or held them back behind their body, but they never put it against their body, like laid it down flat. But that actually isn't really a trait. Like that's not really a thing about them. And so this group of quote unquote Paleoptera is basically just now considered an assemblage or a grouping of everything that is not Neoptera. So it's like basically just it's the only reason it's different is it's only distinguishing feature is that it's not this other thing. And this is an example of what's called a wastebasket taxon or a junk taxon, a junk group. So this is like, you have things that are super obvious and super like this is clearly different from this. This is clearly different from this. And all of these things we're just going to put in one group because we don't know.
Oh
Um,
man, that's some Aristotle level of Greek
yeah.
classification.
Yeah. A lot of these groups were when they were first kind of put in an order by Carolus Linnaeus, however you want to say it. They were put together based on like just what they look like, just morphology. And that works for some things, but doesn't work for everything because some things, I mean, as we know, everything returns to crab, right? Like
Yeah,
there's a
the ultimate
certain
life form.
life like strategy, life form, whatever you want to say, that is optimal or is well adapted for a lot of different things. So even if some groups have had diverged and were separate things, they might come to kind of almost like return to being similar because they do similar things, they evolved similar things under similar like in similar environments. And so just looking at something physically and trying to group it doesn't always work. So that's what this group is. And there are a handful of orders in this. So we're going to go through the orders of Paleoptera or ancient wing. So the first one is Odonata, which is the dragonflies and oh, and these are also in no particular order. Odonata, which are the dragonflies and the damselflies.
Sick. Those
So
bit me once.
really,
Oh yeah, I've gotten bitten by a dragonfly.
like the nymph or the adult?
No, the adult.
Oh, that's so wild. How?
Yeah, I don't remember, but
Okay.
it got me. And yeah, that was
Okay.
smart.
Dude, they are so smart. So, um, dragonflies themselves are the most efficient aerial predators of the animal kingdom. So they have like a 90% success rate of hunting, of like catching, and they catch things like they are hunting other flying insects. So
That's
they
insane.
do these incredible aerial maneuvers. Each of their wings, so they have four wings, each wing has its own musculature. And so they are able to manipulate each of their wings independently,
That's also
allowing for
insane.
these crazy like feats of flight. Ridiculous. I'll talk more about that in a second, but I wanted to say the difference between dragonflies and damselflies. So dragonflies are more what we call robust, so it's pretty stocky, and they hold their wings out at rest. So imagine a dragonfly if you can. Their wings are like out, away from their body, and kind of make their silhouette kind of a T shape because their wings are out. Damselflies are what we call gracile or thin, and they hold their wings behind them at rest. So the wings actually go back behind their body. And they're really cute. One of my favorite species within Odonata is a damselfly. I'm going to pull it up for you, and then you can ooh and ah over it for people to have to look at later. I'm just going to pull it up on iNaturalist. Again, folks, use iNaturalist. I also went over the things that I use in the last episode, the things I use for insect identification and looking at bugs in your area. It's very fun. I love iNaturalist. Okay, there it is. Ebony jewel wing. Do you see that?
Oh, look at that. That's so cool looking. That's look like
Yeah.
green.
So
Wow.
they are this beautiful emerald color, but they're called ebony jewel wings because their wings, I think it's just the males, but their wings are black. So they have these black wings and these beautiful emerald blue shimmering like body. Um, they're so cute. I love them. One of my
Yeah,
favorite
that's a
hikes
good
that I
one.
go on every year, I go on because I know that these are in that area. So.
That's awesome.
Um, Dragonflies themselves inspire a ton of innovations. So I put two links in here that folks can look at, but I'll just mention them briefly. So there's a study that shows that dragonflies can see colors that humans can't, and it's something that it's a deeper red light image, and it is something that they're actually going to try and change medicine and like have a some innovations with being able to see and like help people see, I think, for medical use. I'm trying to see the exact
That's
optogenetics. It uses light sensitive proteins to control and study cells. Oh no, sorry. So it's going to be used in like in protein stuff, but that's really cool. So that's medicine. So they're even just their eyes can will is inspiring innovating innovations in like medicine. But then their wings, there's this lovely article on Entomology Today, which is a newsletter thing that I people should totally subscribe to. I actually will have an article coming out in Entomology Today fairly soon
yo.
about neurodiversity. And so but there's this article about how dragonfly wings are thinner than a human hair, but they're highly durable. They have antimicrobial, water resistant, and anti-reflective properties. And there's this image on it that I love that kind of talks about the properties of the wings and what different things they could do. And so there's like differential light absorption. So the wings actually absorb different lights. They are hydrophobic, so they will water can't get through them. They have really sensorized veins. So a lot of insect veins, the reasoning to have veins on your wings is to provide a rigid structure for your wing so that it doesn't just like crumple like a plastic bag in the wind, right? Like you need some type of
Yeah.
structure holding it together. But they also have like sensory organs on them, like little sensilla, like hairs that can sense things that can help them kind of do that quick change in flight. They just have so many things,
Eh,
different things, and so this is
it's
all
kind of
inspiring.
unfair. Like, can't
So
even
this is
keep all our teeth, man.
Yeah, no, and they have all this stuff. And so they're also being used to like, so to develop waterproof materials and to develop new innovations in flight, and like new drones and stuff like that. And so they're super cool. Love dragonflies.
Yeah, they're
Um,
pretty rad.
yeah. The next order is Ephemeroptera, which are the mayflies. So they're called Ephemeroptera because they are ephemeral. The word means lasting for a markedly brief time. So mayflies are so called, they are not true flies. They're their own group, but they are so named because in across most of their range, they really come out in abundance in May. And so they just come out in all these droves. They pupate and their adult stage comes out and they just are all looking for mates and laying eggs and all of that. They have an aquatic lifestyle as larvae. So the larva lives in the water, um, and is really important, is one of the three orders that are super, super important for water quality indicators. So it's this group, and then Plecoptera, which are the stoneflies, and Trichoptera, which is the caddisflies. So those three groups can be really effective if you just survey for those groups in a water stream, in like a stream or another type of water source. Depending on the species that you find in that survey, it'll tell you how good of a quality that is. Way better than just like taking the pH would do. They also are one of the orders that people that fish, they will make what's called a fly tie or tie fly, like, yeah, fly tie, where they will make a fly fishing. It's called fly fishing because you are trying to mimic the behavior of one of these flies and the fish are like coming up to eat these flies as the flies are like kind of touching the water and laying eggs in the water. And so you make a hook that has all kinds of wraps, or, like different things, some feathers. They're trying to mimic mayflies, basically. Um, and fly tying is like a whole art on its own. Some people make some really cool ties. I've seen some that like I'm like, oh, that's a cool mayfly, and then I'm like, wait a minute, that's not a bug.
You got me.
Yeah, you got me. Um, And while they can be annoying if you're trying to fish, or if you live next to a water source and it's May, and then suddenly all of your, for like a week or something, like all of your buildings are covered in either mayflies, stoneflies are the same, and caddisflies are also the same. It can be annoying, but they are really important for upper trophic levels. So like birds eat them, fish eat them, like all of this other stuff. So pretty cool. So those are the two junk drawer taxon or taxa. Those are the two ancient winged ones. And then everything going forward is in what's called Neoptera or new wing. Um, and within this, there's even a couple groups. So the first one is called Polyneoptera, which is many wings. I genuinely have no idea why it's called many wings. Because they all have the same amount of
What are you
wings.
talking? What are you talking about? There's the order of the one wing bugs, very well known.
Yeah. So there's the one wings and then there's the mini wings now. So Polyneoptera, mini wings. Many of these groups have what are called leathery forewings, so called tegmina. So if you think about like a mantis, for example, you don't really see like two when they're flying or something, like they don't have four wings. They have adapted their forewing, their front wings to be, or bigger wing, the ones that are normally larger. They've adapted those to instead be like a leather covering that kind of protects their other wings. So a lot of insect orders within this group of Polyneoptera have that as at some point in their life.
Oh, okay, okay. I
So
know
they
what
all
you're talking
have
about now.
like, you don't just have four, you don't look at it and like, oh, it has four wings. Like one of the pairs of wings has kind of been co-opted to be like a protective shield that's kind of leathery.
Gotcha.
So the first order is called Zooraptora or angel insects. Zor means Zor means pure, and Aptera means no wings. So these look like termites, and they don't have, like, many of them either don't have wings or drop their wings. It's only some forms that have wings. So they basically looked at, like, previous entomologists, whoever named these things, looked at them and were like, oh, these are pure. They do not have wings. And I think that purity is why they're called angel insects. Um,
Biblically accurate
I
insects.
biblically accurate insects. This is not something that most people see. I've never seen a Zoropteran. They they really just, I don't like, honestly, if I were to flip a log, I'd probably think it was a termite at first
It
glance.
look,
Um,
as the an utter layman, other than living in the South for a good part of my life, this yeah, it just looks like a bug,
yeah,
a termite. Like
yeah.
I could not tell you what that was looking at it.
Yeah. So, but they're different. I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly how, but they're different. So,
They have the longer antennae looking things, and
yeah.
termites have those mandibles.
No, not all. Hashtag not
Well,
all termites.
yeah, hashtag not all termites. You know, well, to the common layman, when I think
Hmm.
termite, I think of a mandible thing. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Looks,
Yep. It sure looks like a termite.
it, it sure does.
Okay. The next order are Dermaptera, which are the earwigs. Um, or earwings. There's all kinds of names that people have for these things.
Yeah,
Um, the name means skin wings, and again, this is in relation to the fact that they have these leathery. One of their pairs of wings is like this leathery, almost covering, and it literally just looks like they have like. It just looks like it's skin, like it's the part
it
of the back or
does.
something. And then
Yeah,
the true wings that they rarely use
yeah,
kind of seem to come from under that. Like they seem to come from the skin. I think that is why they're called that.
yeah,
So these get a really bad rap because people look at it, they're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna pinch me. And then of course the
it,
name, like earwigs, like everyone's like, oh, it's gonna crawl on my ear. It's
yeah.
not going
It's
to do that. Like
Yeah, unfortunately, they get the award for scariest looking bug that will absolutely not do anything to you in the slightest.
it's not gonna, like, you really have to. And honestly, if you ever pick one up, if you ever see one of them that has those the pincers on the back of the abdomen, let it pinch you and realize that it's nothing. Like it doesn't really hurt. There are other things that look innocent that will hurt you more.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so really, I mean, if you see one and you're like, ooh, like take a moment, take a breath, be like, okay, yes, that was a genuine reaction because this is a thing that looks weird, but I don't have to then act on that feeling and kill this because I think it looks weird. Um, so the earwigs have maternal care. I don't remember if I said that already. So the females will actually take pretty good care of their young. And they are one of the few non-social insect species that do this. So they live on their own independently. Most insects do. Like they don't live in like a colony or anything like that. Some will kind of co-opt the same space together and they might live kind of socially that way, but they're not like helping each other out. They just kind of like live together. Earwigs are on their own by themselves. Um, so the mother pays really close attention to her eggs. She makes sure that they are warm. She protects them. She will defend them from predators. She won't even leave to eat until they start getting like they hatch and then they kind of get bigger. She also cleans the eggs to protect them from fungi. So a lot of earwigs will live in like damp wood, in the leaf litter, that kind of thing, which fungus can grow pretty easily in those areas. So she will like take care of it and make sure that the fungus is not going to grow on them. And I think that there was an article that I read that I saw that was like, even if you swap out her batch of eggs for like ones that are not viable, she'll still take care of them for like a week because she still is like, maybe it'll hatch, maybe it'll hatch. Um,
Dang.
so yeah, people think that they're gross, but they're pretty freaking cool, actually.
Yeah.
Have you had any
The,
earwig experience?
I mean, I see that. I'm pretty sure in the area. I feel like I've seen them in person. I
Yeah.
don't know the. We have so many bugs out here. I lose track of what we are, but what we have. But yeah, no, like nothing.
Mm,
Nothing direct other than knowing they exist and seeing them.
cool.
Um, yeah, they do live in Georgia. Okay, I definitely have seen them around.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Cool. So the next order is Plecoptera, which are the stoneflies. Plecoptera means braided wing, and that is probably in relation to the fact that their wings have a ton of veins. Like it just seems like they have veins for days. Like there's so many, and they don't need that many veins, but they have them. And so but that's probably why they're named that. Again, these are a really great water quality indicator, and I think they're common name of stoneflies because their larvae are often like if you flip a stone in a stream, they're often like clinging to the stone.
Huh.
So, yeah, that's them.
Oh, those are interesting little dudes. I'm just looking at what their larvae look
Mhm,
like.
mhm.
Interesting. Huh.
Next group is Orthoptera, which means straight wing. I have no idea why they're called that. So this includes
To
crickets.
separate them from the gay we.
I'm screaming. Uh, I'm gonna make a comment because I need to tell all of my friends that. Oh my gosh. Okay.
This
Thank
is
you.
why I'm here, folks. This is
Thank you for
all I
that.
can contribute.
Whew. Okay, so I couldn't really think of anything specific to talk about crickets, katydids, grasshoppers. I mean, people know them as locusts, quote unquote, are also in this where they like
Yeah.
and defoliate. Like they can be really big pests, blah blah blah. But I wanted to highlight here instead the way that they have what their metamorphosis is. So um things like Plecoptera and other they have what they have is they have incomplete metamorphosis that includes a an egg and then an there's a larval stage, and then there's usually another stage, and then they're an adult. But if something is hemimetabolous and they have this kind of incomplete metamorphosis, basically the insect hatches from the egg and it just kind of looks like a mini version of the adult, like a tiny, tiny version of the adult. And insects have exoskeletons, so they basically have their bones on the outside, and they will grow and grow and grow to as they eat and they will fill in that exoskeleton. And so when they start kind of butting up, like they're too chonky for their exoskeleton, they kind of just have to like form a new one. So this insects that have hemimetabolism, will grow and grow and grow, and then they'll molt. So they'll get rid of that exoskeleton, that like shell. And then they grow and grow and grow, and then they molt. And they just do this over and over until they're at the adult stage and are sexually reproductive. Some of these stages are called instars. So it's just kind of the name that we have for them. And then how many of those stages, those instars, a certain species has, it really depends on the species. And for a lot of them, you can actually tell what instar it is based on certain morphological characters. So for some groups that might have different types of metamorphosis, they might have like caterpillars, for example. They have complete metamorphosis, but the caterpillar stage has instars, and at each one, it's like, oh, I can tell that this is a third instar of this caterpillar because it has these features. It looks like it has this color. It has this little horn thing, but it doesn't have these other horn things. So sometimes for some groups, the instar is indicative of the like how close they might be to being an adult. But sometimes with things like crickets and katydids, I don't know. They basically like look the same molt, and then they might have like one stage before they become an adult where it's like, oh, they look like they might be getting wings. Like, so yeah, I guess the other thing about this group about orthopterans is they use songs to attract mates, and they do different courting behaviors. So you can often hear in the summer katydids and grasshoppers and crickets chirping, attracting mates, things like that. Really cool.
Yeah. These probably one of the closest ones to my heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because obviously as a kid I can't tell you what specifically I was looking at, but back in California, well, when I was a young kid, I would play
Hmm.
with bugs. Grasshoppers were pretty common, and there were I'd
Hmm.
catch 'em and just mess around with them or whatever. Ladybugs were pretty common out there too. But yeah, out here in Georgia, plenty of those too. So pretty much my whole life, I know the summer sound of
Hmm.
crickets and such. Um, and and one of the memorable moments, one of the stupid kid stories, on a
Hmm.
dare, I ate a grasshopper live once.
Oh, I guess that's another thing I could have talked about is what is called entomophagy or eating
Yeah,
insects. Um,
yeah.
so you eating insects as nutrition for nutritional purposes is highly common pretty much everywhere except for the United States and Europe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Every
not in
other
Mexico. We
culture,
got the chocolate covered crickets down there.
yeah, like it is because they
Good.
are an effective source of protein. And like
Yeah.
a lot of these things are reproduce so quickly and create so many generations in a given amount of time that you can reliably grow enough. Uh, yeah, it's
Sustainable.
sustainable. They use a lot less water than a cow does.
Yeah.
So people still get yucked out about it, but there are some people are starting to like feed it in where it's like, oh, here's cricket powder. So this
Yep.
is
Here's your cricket
powder, like
chips.
here, yeah, cricket chips, or like here is a flour that is made from crickets, or
Mm,
something like that. Like
they're crunchy.
they're um and a couple of times at a couple events, we've like a couple of insect conferences and whatever, like people will bring like, oh, I made this guacamole that has ants in it. Like, do you want to try it? And like it really doesn't change the flavor. It just adds protein.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's one of those things. And insects are a part of uh insects are as a protein have been used for like pet food a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some dog foods might include insect proteins or something. Um,
Mm.
but it's something people shouldn't be as yucked out about because it's actually pretty abundant. And I know you'd have to eat like a lot for it to be, but something that's pretty abundant. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Try, give it
Yeah.
a try if you can.
Yeah.
Um,
I did it live, so
so
you don't have to go that far.
live and raw was a choice, but
Yeah. Um,
yeah.
Yeah. Believe it or not, it didn't taste that bad, but
Yeah. I mean, they don't.
uh,
People assume that they're gonna be like you're gonna be gagging and like throwing up, and they're not. It's not that bad. It's really
it's
not
it's
that bad.
it's it's mostly texture, but it's a little bit like lettuce.
Yeah.
Um, here I am, with my gourmet review. Uh, oh yeah, no, I mean, I think that's cool, and sustainability is a big.
Yeah.
So I am all for eating the crickets.
Hmm.
But yeah. One more thing before we move on from grasshoppers,
Yeah.
I forgot one other reason that they so close to my heart. Uh, okay, this is a stretch. Tangent time.
Okay. Okay.
There is, or was, I guess he passed away sadly not too long ago. There was a comedian. His name is Chespirito. Was from Mexico. He was a Hispanic Latino icon of pop culture.
Okay.
He did all sorts of sitcoms and comedy shows, and just like, I'm trying to think of an equivalent, like the level of Robin Williams as
Oh,
comedic like
wow.
fame,
That's high praise.
but like also having a show as popular as like I Love Lucy or the Flintstones. Like,
Dang.
yeah, the man was up there. He is a top tier icon of Hispanic culture
Okay.
and comedy. Anyways, I bring it up because one of his shows, his characters, his personas was called a Chapulín Colorado. For
Mm.
people who don't know Spanish, Chapulín means grasshopper, and Colorado just means red. I'm sending you a picture in Slack. I
S-
probably should do it in a thread, but
Slack, slack,
uh,
slack.
he dressed. He just had this very comical, over the top
Oh my
outfit
gosh.
of a kind of bug man, no mask,
Yeah, this
and
is
he
lovely.
wielded a little plastic mount as his weapon. And he was a quote unquote superhero, but well, I won't get too deep into it, but yeah, it was just it was comedy, just pure comedy.
Yeah.
And so that character, Chapulín Colorado, the red and yellow, that is costume, and the ham, like, they're all, again, icons of Hispanic culture. Like,
That's so
everyone knows
great.
what the yellow and red hammer is. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, another blessing from the bugs from the Orthoptera. There we go. I said it
Hmm.
right. Okay. All right. That's it. There's my love for
Okay.
Orthoptera.
Next we have mantids. So mantis, praying mantis. The order is Mantodia. I really don't have a lot to say about these because they're cool. Like everyone knows they're cool.
Everyone knows they're cool.
They're super charismatic. I will say if you haven't had a chance to hold one, or if you have a chance to hold one, if you're trying to catch one that's wild, um, they will like try and escape you a hot minute, like for a bit, but eventually they'll stop trying to escape and they'll just kind of like chill. And at that point, like you can you can just see how intelligent they are because they look at you and
Yeah.
they will follow your head, like your eyes, and they like you
Yeah.
can see um
They're tracking.
they're tracking like and
They're
they're really good
processing.
predators.
Yeah.
They got those raptorial forelegs, and some of
Yeah.
them have some crazy camouflage like the orchid mantis. Basically just
Yeah.
is has looks like an orchid. So this is again a gay bug because it's not a straight bug,
Yeah.
straight wing. They have some pretty flamboyant
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
stuff that they can that they how the way that they've evolved and they can just straight up look like an orchid to
Yeah.
lure in predators and ambush predators. So
I
an
They're
icon.
so cool. I've seen a few around here. I've never grabbed them.
Hmm.
I don't know why. Like, I guess as an adult, like, I'm just so much more hesitant. Not like, I feel like I don't want to hurt the bug.
Yeah.
And by big meaty man hands, like, I know I'm so, yeah, I don't know. I don't trust myself, so I've never tried grabbing it. But man, they're so cool. I'll definitely stop and look at them when I see them. Yeah,
One
yeah.
of my favorite online jokes or whatever is I'm gonna probably butcher this, but it's like I just want to kiss every bug, but they are so small and my lips are so strong.
Exactly.
It's like they're
Exactly.
all so cool and I love them so much, but like we have to love them from a distance
Exactly.
or else we're gonna hurt them.
Oh, exactly. But
Um,
yeah, no, man. I mean, how many cool like well, no, that's not true. Many bugs have inspired many cool things as you talk about, but like
Mhm, mhm.
we got Scyther. That's an awesome
Oh
Pokemon.
man, bug Pokemon is like we could do a whole greenhouse on bug Pokemon.
Well, when are you going to do the I don't know, but it's not the tree of life, but the diagram that maps it all the
Oh
orders
yeah,
and all that. When you doing that for the Pokemon?
I could do that. So yeah, what Kev is referring to is there's an entomology. Well, so I don't even have to make one because there's already an article about it, and it's hilarious because
Yeah,
it's
I'm
actually
sure it is.
it's someone that I know. So they wrote an article in the American Entomologist, which is like the one of the big journals from the Entomological Society of America, and
Pokemon's Japanese.
that is more of American Entomologist is more kind of like it doesn't go into some really detailed like science. It kind of talks about the people and the side of it. So I have a that's another thing that my article about neurodivergence is going to come into. It can talk about things like my friend Dr. Rebecca Schmidt Jeffries wrote this article about how Pokemon is a perfect like gateway into insects, and not only because it Pokemon was made because of insects, like
Yeah, I was
because
about to
of
say,
collecting, because of
not
entomology
forget.
and like insect collections. Um, but also just like how cool it is. And then they basically they took all of the bug Pokemon and put them into orders. Like, oh, Scyther is clearly in order Mantodia. And they kind of were like, here are the orders that are lesser known or the ones that are like not represented that could be a really cool Pokemon. So
Yeah.
that's a whole episode we could do where we talk about
Yeah.
not only what bug Pokemon exist, I could talk about that article that Dr. Schmidt Jeffries wrote,
Yeah.
but also I could talk
I
about possible Pokemon that could cover some of the lesser known orders. I could totally do that.
yeah. I mean, but tying it back to the mantises, let's not forget Lurantis, which does the
Mm-hmm.
play on the orchid mantis and it does it
Mm-hmm.
backwards, and it's just
Lure.
yep, oh my, it's just a master class in design of
Yeah.
things, in part because you're basing it off a master class in real world bug design, I guess.
Yeah, you really don't.
Uh,
They kind of did everything for you there. You don't
yeah,
have to do much.
yeah, you're standing on the shoulders of very tiny giants, but
Yep. So the next order is Phasmatodea, which
oh, I played that.
are the walking sticks. I didn't look at the name for this, but so the walking sticks, stick insects, also really super cool. Don't really have
Yeah,
any notes on this. They look like stick. That is their
yeah,
whole
that's
they just
and what a good bit. That's all you need.
that's all you need. And so these have such effective camouflage that there was actually I should find the article, but I'll just blurb it. There like was a species of stick insect that's huge that was
Yeah,
just described like 4 years
yeah,
ago because
yeah.
they
I
are
heard about that.
so effective at camouflage that people had
Yeah.
never seen this thing before or whatever. And so super cool. And they can get really big in the tropics. So when I went to Costa Rica to learn about flies, we found one there that was like half the length of my forearm. Like it was just
Oh, that's sick.
huge. And it was doing its like kind of like bobbin thing. Like they kind of walk really stupid. They're so cool though. Um
That's
just absolutely cool. And then you feel like a freaking badass whenever you find one because you're like you
yeah,
literally saw this thing that is a stick.
yeah.
Um
I mean, like, there's a lot of great camouflage out in the animal world, but a stick like that's up there. Like, no, nobody's gonna pay. No animal will ever think about paying attention to a stick.
I'm a look like stick. Yeah. They're really cool. So the next order. So I put those two, Mantodia and Phasmatodea, I put them in an order. Like in that, like I did those two consecutively because the next order is called Mantophasmatodea. So these things are so named because they basically just look like a mix between a mantis and a walking stick.
That's
That's it. Like that's why they're called that. And
huh.
their common name is heel walkers because they don't walk on like their their tarsi, like the foot pads that they have, like that insects have. They don't walk on those. They walk on like the bottom, the next leg segment up. It's really weird. They basically, so they're
Yeah.
always like holding their feet up, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
it looks like they're walking on backwards feet.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
interesting.
Like they have their shoes on backwards or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that. And I don't really have a lot to say about these. They're only in Southern Africa. So, but I just had to talk about them, had to blurb them real quick.
Green chunky stick bugs.
Okay, you
That's
guys, we only have three more. We're almost there. So the next one I'm really excited about. So Embioptera. So these are called web spinners. The reason I am excited, okay, let me talk. Okay, let me say what more about them. So they have these, their front legs have these silk producing organs. So they make like what is called a gallery, but it's like basically a web of like an underground area that they create like out of silk. So they spin webs out of their front legs, which is nuts. They kind of look just like a long, thin beetle. So the reason I'm so excited about, I'll say it now, is that when I went to Arizona to study beetles, I caught one and I thought it was a beetle. Like I was like, oh, this is a rove beetle, a staphylinid, because it's just long and thin and has a really short, like you can see the abdominal segments. Well, we'll talk about that
Yeah.
in a later episode, what a rove beetle is. But I was like, this basically looks like a rove beetle. Cool. And then like 2 days later, when we're in the lab and I'm like mounting a bunch of the stuff I have, I'm like, wait, this is not a rove beetle. This is a web spinner. And like these are not everywhere. Like these are really difficult to find. I had like multiple people at the workshop in Arizona were like, "Where the hell did you find this?" And I was like, I literally just flipped a log, was like, "Oh, there's a staff," and like grabbed it. Didn't even like, and we went back to that area. There was nothing in that area really. I like flipped the one log that was in that whole area and found it. And like we didn't see any others.
Man, Cody's out here playing Pokemon for real.
I really am. I really am. So they're really cool. And so and it's always cool. So as an entomologist, I am like, you basically are trying to catch them all. So I would like I don't have a large personal collection. Pretty much only want a personal collection for myself for identification purposes. So if I were to ever find another web spinner, for example, I can be like, well, let me look at the one that I have. Is this like that one, basically? Like, is it really a web spinner? Let me look at the diagnostic characteristics, whatever. So I don't have a big personal collection, but whenever I want one of every order if I can get it. And so this was a new order for me. I was like, I had never seen one of these in person and I caught it. And it's like, now I never have to catch another web spinner again. So I basically get to like check that off my box.
This is literally what Al sounds like when he's talking about shiny hunting or what.
This is basically like I felt like I was shiny hunting because
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, it's a beetle. Oh my God, it's not a beetle. Like, a little bit about web spinners. They also exhibit maternal care, but they do live in these galleries, like in groups. So they are not completely solitary. They kind of like will make a gallery with some other females and live together. But the females will also pre-chew the food. So they will like get leaves or whatever it is, and they will chew it up and regurgitate that for their young. So that is not something that's super common that we know of in insects.
Hmm.
So like in non-social insects. So like we know that bees do that, for example. But they usually prepare that for their babies, and then the babies just eat it. But this is something that like I think the female actively does, which is nuts. So I feel like I feel so silly because I just got so excited about that, and then I'm like, people are gonna look at this and be like, "Yep, it's a bug." But
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
okay. Next we have Grilloblatodia. So this is another mishmash of two groups. Whoever named this was basically like, well, it looks like a cricket, grilled, and a cockroach, blatted. Like, so we're gonna call them blattids,
Okay.
Grilloblatodia. So these are called the ice crawlers, Kevin. The ice crawlers, because
I
these
don't.
things live only in like either ice and snow or really deep caves that are pretty freaking cold.
I
These things
don't
don't
think bugs are supposed to be there,
co
Cody.
correct. So these are one of the only like there's these there's also snow what are called snow fleas, which are winter stone flies that you can see on some snow in the eastern United States sometimes and then there's a couple other like things that I've seen in snowy areas, but most of the time if you see an insect in the snow, you're like you're not supposed to be in here, right? Like this is not what they're but this is that's our whole thing. They're called ice crawlers. They crawl on the ice. I'm trying not to scream. They're so cool. And so this is another Pokemon shiny hunting situation where
Yeah.
so they're actually they can be found near in Oregon, like up in either Mount Hood, which is the like big semi-active volcano
Yeah.
that people it has it's where Timberline Lodge is, which is where The Shining was filmed. Um and stuff like that. So we actually went and tried to find some of these last November because the big bug conference was in Portland, Oregon. And so a bunch of us went there and I was like, guys. Well, so there were like 3,000 entomologists, but I like got a bunch of my friends together. I was like, I'm gonna rent a car that can go up in the snow and we're gonna go look for these things.
This was your
And I got like five people to come with me. And yeah, we just made a day of it where we like went up. I mean, it wasn't a whole day. It was like a couple hours, like say 5 hours or something. Um,
my my company. We went out to a karaoke bar.
no, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. We yeah, so we went up there. We didn't find any, which is really sad, but I did find some beetle larvae that were just like three of them that were just on the ice, and I sent a photo to my advisor and he was like, "What the heck are those doing there?" And I'm like, "I genuinely don't know what's going on here." So he's like still trying to figure that out. And then I found a crane fly up there. So I found a certain type of fly species, or so fly family up there. And I gave that, like, we then went back to the conference and I texted my friend who studies crane flies and I was like, do you want this thing? And she was like, yeah. I think I also caught a ground beetle, and I also gave it to my friend who's a ground beetle. So it's like, it's just so fun because, like, you go and you find these things and you collect them, and then you can be like, here, friend that studies ground beetle, here is this beetle that I found at like 4,000 feet elevation or whatever. It's like, what is this thing doing here?
I'm
Um,
sorry. It's just I didn't know what a crane fly was or the
oh, yeah,
name
yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the name for it because I see them every single day out here in the
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
And here's the problem. I come from Savannah, Georgia, where we those are mosquitoes down there.
Yeah. So
Uh,
they're called mosquito hawks,
yeah.
is what people refer to them as. And I think people like there's people always say like, oh, they eat mosquitoes. They do not.
No,
But they basically look like giant mosquitoes because
they are
they're
giant
very
mosquitoes. Yeah.
large. They have very, very like long legs. And we joke, we have this really funny joke. I should find the sticker and put it in the Slack. So crane flies drop their legs like you look at them wrong and they just throw a leg on the ground. It's just so uncommon. Like to the point where one of my friends in one of my classes, insect diversity classes, got a crane fly and he was so proud. And I was like, but you know that's not going to keep its legs, right? Like by the end of the year when your collection is going to be like reviewed, it won't have its legs. And he was like, bet. And so I bet him $20. And then halfway through the semester, I bet him $40.
Oh,
We upped it because I was like, this is not going to last. And then at the end of the semester, he got his thing great. Like as he was submitting it, I was there and he opened the box and it still had all of its legs. So
oh, yeah.
I gave him $40 and we recorded it. My friend Lewis recorded it, me being like, Charles won the bet.
That
Um,
right.
yeah, pretty much. Oh, also, we're not talking about crane flies in this episode, but we just mentioned him, so I'm going to talk about it. There's a crane fly that I found in Costa Rica that I found and like mounted and everything. And one of the crane fly experts was like, "You did this really well," and I was like, "That's I'm going to carry that to my grave." But that's probably a new genus. Like
Oh,
at a
that's
recent
crazy.
yeah, at a recent conference, the Dipterus Society, so the group of people that study flies, like their little group, were having a meeting and they talked about kind of like what has been found from the bugs that were caught in fly school when we were there. And he was like, oh, and then there was this and this really cool crane fly that is probably a whole genus, and it had just never been seen before. And before I mounted it, the gentleman who was talking, who's named Dr. Matt Bertone, he's at North Carolina, NC State. He took a photo of it. So there's a photo of it in situ, like live, like it's still alive in that photo. So we not only have the photo, but we also have the specimen preserved in the Natural History Museum of Costa Rica. And they know where it was. It was at this Soltis Center, which is this research station for the Texas A&M University. So they can continue looking for more if they so choose, which I think they're going back this year. So fingers crossed for them.
Man, it's so cool. I don't think I'll ever discover a genus.
I mean, so that's the thing is I just like a lot of these things like this, the web spinner or that thing, like that crane fly, I just caught it and then just gave it to people that study the thing. I'm like, here you go. And a lot of these groups are so little studied that it's possible. Like it's not uncommon or would not be unheard of for it to be new. You just have to look basically. But the tropics are also absolutely crazy because they have pretty consistent weather, other than being dry season and wet season or whatever. But like the temperature doesn't get crazy or, whatever. And so it's pretty consistent. So you can there's been a lot of speciation and a lot of development and evolution that has happened in those areas. So bugs are super diverse there. Yeah, period. Okay, but we should probably finish. So the last order is Blatodia, which is just the termites and the cockroaches. So these used to be two separate things, but it has come like within the last like 10 years, DNA evidence has shown that termites and cockroaches, are really, really closely related actually. So they're now in the same order, Globatodia. And I just wanted to mention here, like of the 4,400 species of cockroach, only like 30 of them are associated with human environments or human habitats like our homes. And of those, only like 3 of them are pests. So cockroaches get a really bad rap because everyone just assumes like that they're gonna infest your house or whatever, and be a problem. And then like I'm not saying that they aren't a problem. It is a very big problem for people that do have a cockroach infestation. But I'm just saying because one is a bad apple, one cockroach species bad does not mean that the other 4,400 and whatever are bad. They're still incredibly important for their environment. They're what is known as a detritivore. So they plus a lot of these groups are similar. They break down organic material into forms where like the nutrients can be used and accessed really easily by other organic life, whether that be a tree or another thing eating the leaf litter or whatever. But those nutrients, when it's a log, for example, those nutrients that are stuck, they're almost like stuck in there. That needs to be broken down for those nutrients to return and like be reused again. And that's that is what cockroaches and termites do. So people be hating on them, but they're pretty freaking cool actually.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Like, I think they're well. Well, speaking of roaches, like I mean, termites, it's a whole thing, but
Yeah.
like roaches, like I mean, yeah. The thing with roaches for me, it's more of a sign that bad decisions were made by the people in the area as opposed to the bugs, you know?
Yeah, I mean it can be really hard. They can be really hard to get rid of. And
It is.
it's really difficult to like if someone has an infestation of anything.
Yeah,
We have to be really careful not to blame the person who is in that situation because for
sure.
example, like I have, my house fairly clean, blah 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 blah, but to give ants like 1
Yeah. Okay.
millimeter and
Yeah.
then they'll take a mile. Like give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and so and then and some of these things are
Yeah.
so cockroaches, for example, people joke that they would survive a nuclear blast. They probably would because they can like mish themselves into
Yeah.
so flat and they can still survive. So sometimes like you could step on a cockroach and it might still live because it can
Yeah.
just They are so effective at living. Um, and so they're hard, and then they get into all these places, so it can be really difficult to eradicate them. Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah. You know
it's
what?
hard.
Yeah, I'm misspeaking, right? I don't want to blame anyone. Just I've seen people. How did I put this? Like, yeah, no, I'm getting to a personal story. I've just dealt with someone who I was
Yeah.
telling there were the answers were there, the steps were given, but they did not take them. Anyways, but
So
that's
that's
a
the
very
thing.
specific thing.
There is definitely there are going to be times when it's like this person uh did
Yeah,
not dissuade the did not like have their environment be in such a way that they didn't like
yeah.
prevent this. Like it
An
was very
effort was not
effective.
made. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
That's a thing. The effort, right? Like,
like maintaining a clean environment is really important as a preventative measure from this type of
yeah.
infestation, but it is not going to 100% guarantee that you're not going to see a
Yeah,
cockroach in
no,
your
no,
house.
of course, yeah,
Um,
no, it happens. Like again, down
especially,
here, Gordon, it
yeah,
happens.
especially if you live in like an apartment complex, because you might be doing everything right, but what if
Uh,
people in like next to you, or they could be somewhere in the ductwork or something like that, and then it's on the like landowners to be
hmm.
trying to eradicate those, and if they don't take the proper steps, then you're going to be stuck with things, and they can transmit disease. They can be a nuisance. Like it's clearly not the best for them. Though I will say, if you ever do keep cockroaches, because people keep them either as pets or as food sources for their reptiles and stuff like
Yeah.
that, their frass, also known as poop, is a really good fertilizer. So,
Hmm. I
and
mean, sure.
also, so people also do what's called blatto composting. People do it with worms as well, vermicomposting, where they will have either cockroaches or worms, like a compost heap or a compost bin that they just have cockroaches in. And then so you basically like you eat an apple and then you put the core in there and then they will eat it and break it
Yeah,
down and then you can take
yeah,
their poop and use that as fertilizer. So
yeah.
it can be effective. Um
Sustainable. That's good stuff. Yeah.
but definitely like
Um.
it's hard to do that in like a small way because if you we, especially in the United States, we generate a lot more food waste than could be eaten by a colony of roaches pretty quickly. Like that apple core is going to take like 2 weeks. So if you ate like so many apples for a long time, suddenly you're just going to have a bin full of apple cores and maybe some cockroaches in there too. But it's cool.
uh,
We could we could uh we could use them for good instead of hating on them.
yeah. Also, shout outs to Wally,
Yes.
cockroach.
Shout out to Wally with his cockroach buddy. See, again, he drove over his cockroach. His cockroach just plinked back and was like,
Yeah,
"I'm back." Because yeah, they really don't care. They're just really effective at surviving.
yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna stop it there. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm just yapping away, but you guys signed up for this.
It's Cody month. You all knew it.
You signed up for this. So next time we're gonna go over. Oh, it's called Paraneoptera. So these are the non-Polyneoptera groups, and then we're going to go on to holometabolists. So those the order Holometabula, which just includes all of the insects that have complete metamorphosis, which is called holometabolism. So everything up until this point will have incomplete. They'll either have, they won't have the like egg larva adult stage, like you think of like a caterpillar. Like that is a pure example of holometabolous, where they have an egg, a larva, and then that pupal stage, like a chrysalis or some type of hardening where they kind of become a goo and then somehow become not goo.
That's impressive.
We still
I'll give
don't
him that.
understand what's happening inside of pupal stage, like pupal casings. There's just a lot going on in there.
It's yeah.
And people have found that like someone proved there was like a kid in this was like a newer news story where there was a kid, I want to say at least high school, but possibly younger, who proved that butterflies remember things from their caterpillar's like life.
That's insane
So he
for
basically like
children.
provided them with food resources, either blue or orange or something. So like a blue one is like a sugar rich, like really good resource. And the orange one was like an awful resource. And so he basically trained like a bunch of caterpillars with this stuff. And then when they closed and it molted and became a butterfly, he then provided them with with just like blue and orange again or whatever. And the butterflies went to the blue. Like they just immediately were like blue.
I'm
So
sorry, that's insane. That's an insane concept and fact to
yeah.
begin with, but the fact that a kid discovered
Hmm.
oh,
There's a
there's
lot.
many things going on there.
Yep.
I
There's a
science.
there's actually a really good amount of articles or news stories or examples of kids having some really great discoveries because it's just so again it's like such
They're
a
smaller. They can see the bugs closer.
well they also if you haven't taught them fear yet like to fear insects we all are initially like very curious. We're only taught to fear something when your parents like, no, no, get away from that. Or like, no, that's gross. It's a bug. Like, so until you have that experience, you still have that curiosity. You still have that wonder. And if that is not quashed, then you become an entomologist talking on a podcast about boarding games. But you could also, like, if you continue to look and ask questions and try and understand things and like there's just so much that could be done to still study in the study of insects, insect cognition, insect diversity, ways we can use them for our environment, ways that they are effective for our environment. There's so much, and we need more funding for it. Period. End of story. So
Well, you know how we
really
could
cool.
get more funding?
What people donating to Patreon? I don't know what the.
No, I was gonna say we could open up a shop, you see, and
Oh,
sell the
oh
bugs
my gosh, you're
to
so right.
budgies.
You're so right. Okay, so we're gonna go into our main topic. Thank you guys for bearing with us. I'm gonna keep apologizing, and everyone, like certain people who are listening, are probably like, "Oh, she's done talking about bugs." Um,
Oh, Codey and Bugs versus Kevin and Pocopia.
name a better duo. Um, so yeah, Budgie's Bug Shop. So this is a game that is out on Steam, and I am blessed that it is also on Mac. It's not just PC; it's also Mac. So I was able to play this on my laptop. Very happy. So, the blurb about the game is a short, incremental game about catching bugs and running a shop filled with parakeets. Upgrade equipment, purchase game breaking abilities, and maximize the profits of your budgie powered empire. um, I guess like before we start getting into gameplay and other features, what are your thoughts about this game?
Okay, so first of all, the game's like what, $5 USD?
Yeah.
So for reference, right, this is the level game we're talking about. Not it's bad because it's good. I'm giving this thumbs up.
Yeah.
But just setting the expectations. I 100%ed it in like an afternoon because you can. Um, okay, how should I put? Okay,
Did you
it's
actually did you 100% it or did you just get
oh
hit
no, I
credits?
100, I 100%ed everything.
Okay. I was gonna
Yeah,
see
no, I got it all.
if I've got all the, I do not have all of the achievements. Wait, do I? Oh, I'm looking at
If
global
you
achievements. I want to look at my achievements.
if you hit credits, you probably hit it all because that's pretty far.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, no, I mean overall, like I'm giving it thumbs up. I enjoyed it. I have many specific thoughts, but what are your overall thoughts, Cody?
Similar. So like very positive. The reviews are also overwhelmingly positive. 96% of the reviews are positive reviews. So, it's just a cute little game. I mean, it also tells you like what it is like out from the front. It's like this is
It's
a 2 hour experience basically, but you could replay it if you want. Like, very good replayability, I think. It's basically just number go big. That's
it's a cookie clicker. That's what it is. It's a cookie
yeah.
clicker.
Um,
But yeah, okay. There's two parts to the game. There is the bug shop where the birds are selling to other birds all these bugs you caught. That's just a cookie clicker.
yeah.
You sell more, you get money. You buy upgrades. You have more cashiers, more what inventory, whatever. It's a cookie clicker. Number go
Hmm.
big. Generally, I'm not a big fan of cookie clickers because I don't know. I just don't get the number go big is fine, but just not always for me.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
I don't have all the achievements.
gotta go back.
What the heck?
I wonder which one you're missing. I'm curious.
Okay, I know what it is.
Um, so that's fine, right? The other part, and this is why the game works for me because there is a second portion that is the bug patching.
Mm-hmm.
That is active gameplay, which is what I want for my games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, let's okay. It's been a minute since I played, but if I recall correctly, yeah, in the initial when you start the game, you have just a basic little insect area where there's like ladybugs and grasshoppers,
Mm-hmm.
and you basically draw a square, and that drops a net onto this little field where these bugs are walking and hopping around.
Mm-hmm.
And you catch the bugs that are inside the net. It's fairly straightforward. Right? Different bugs have different types of movements as they tend to do in the real world. Um, um, and so that's kind of the basis for it. As is the cookie clickerish nature, you can upgrade the whole bug catching side of this game. You unlock many different environments with different types of bugs. And you also upgrade your bug catching abilities.
Mm-hmm.
You can start spawning other nets. Other nets will spawn from your nets when you drop them, and they'll just shoot
Mm-hmm.
out to the sides. There you can unlock different types of bugs that give you bonuses or more time on the clock. Because you have to do this bug catching segment in a couple of seconds, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so on, and
Net
so
get
forth,
net
right?
get bigger.
Net get bigger or more net. Net number get bigger.
Net number get
Um,
bigger.
and so like it's okay in the bug shop in the shop part, right? Like it's literally number get bigger and there's more birds going in, but it's all passive. It's all basically visual, right? You get
Mm-hmm.
more upgrades, it looks prettier, you're doing more transactions. But the
Mm-hmm.
gameplay part of it gets kind of insane with how far the upgrades go because you're like spawning like four nets at once and they'll each shoot out like two nets of their own
Yeah.
and just all sorts of nonsense. So you go from, trying to draw a square to catch every single bug that you can see in a couple of seconds to just randomly without thinking or looking, just drawing rectangles and game happens and bug gets caught. Like it's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
visually appealing though. Like
It is.
the way that they visualized it was very it tickles the brain in a good way.
It does. Um and oddly enough, like while this is one of I guess the strengths, like the upgrade you feel it go up, there's a small little complaint. Not maybe not small, but there's a complaint I have about it.
Okay.
In the beginning, when you're starting, you're catching these bugs, and of course, there's your bug X or whatever, and you see all the bugs you caught, and you clearly get a good look at what you're catching, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's the ladybugs, there's the different types of monarch butterflies or whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
they're accurate bugs, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
They look like a bug that's supposed to be real. Towards the end, well, there's some that aren't, but we'll get to that. But anyways, but towards the end, here's the thing, or at least the way I played it, where I would tend to stockpile my money so I can get a good amount of upgrades at once.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end, I was not seeing the bugs I was catching. Basically, I'm just spawning nets and just
Yeah.
it's just now a list. Like I don't even know what's in this level.
Yeah.
I'm just dropping stuff and catching hundreds of bugs and don't know what's going on. Um, which is a shame because like I think that again they clearly put effort to put a wide variety of bug species and whatnot, and it's kind of a shame that that didn't go a little further. But that is it's a tough problem because yeah, on one hand you're also getting better gameplay stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what maybe the best way. There's a great way to balance that, but it is unfortunate where things get so chaotic you can't even tell what's going on anymore.
Yeah, I see that. It becomes pretty all over the place. Um, it can get pretty intense, but yeah, I can see that. Valid
Yeah,
criticism.
yeah. Um, I'm trying to think here. Because yeah, it's very straightforward or simplish gameplay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on all this, Cody?
I mean, that's pretty much it. So the gameplay is just click and drag to make a square, and you catch anything that's in that square. Some things can be difficult to catch when you first start out, and you have like your net is
Yeah.
small and whatever. Um, and then yeah, your shop can expand. You sell the bugs there. Each one has a cost. I don't even, the cost didn't really even do anything because also I think when you catch more of them, you get like they become more
Yeah, well,
like
there's that. I think that's one of the some of the upgrades. Oh, you know what? I forgot. There's two kinds of upgrades. I should talk about that.
yeah.
Because there's your standard get save up money, unlock, another register, unlock maybe another area. There is a skill tree system.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say it's not a tree, it's like a panel. And the currency is not money for those unlocks. The
Mm-hmm.
currency for that is what they call cosmic beetles. This little magic or scarabs, cosmic
Yeah.
scarabs, that's what it was. Yeah. And just this rainbow flying scarab beetle, clearly from the gay wing bugs. Just and when you catch them, and their pattern is straightforward, but a little. They're fast, right? They just go
Mm-hmm.
in a straight line and bounce off surfaces. But they're fast. But those beetles, the more you catch of them, the more upgrade you get off your little skill square panel thing.
Yeah.
Um, and that's a lot of the powerful gameplay upgrades. Getting more nets, getting bonus types of bugs, all that stuff. So, um, that's when you can really start snowballing when you start catching more of these beetles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which is nice because again, it's not just the transactions and the passive income going up. It's like again that rewards your gameplay because when you start, you have to figure out the get the timing right to catch these beetles so you can get upgrades. So I appreciate that a little gameplay driven upgrade as opposed to just number go up. Yeah. I they have some fun effects that end up not making too much of a difference because of how crazy the upgrades go. But like some
Okay.
bugs will burrow underground or
Yeah.
seek cover under leaves and stuff like that. But you get upgrades that specifically kind of combat that. Like it'll shake the ground and make the bugs pop out. Or shake them out of the bush or whatever. So I think they made an effort to put a lot of variety and effort in that, but they kind of outdid themselves in their arms race. And the upgrades kind of won. Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean that's
yeah,
it's pretty straightforward. Like it's they have a bunch of different species, so it is cool. A lot of the species are like real species, which is cool. Um and you can unlock these different the locations really like it's just a different screen. Like and
it
again, like
is.
you're saying, like you can they burrow. There's an aquatic ground where they might go under the lily pads and then you can't get to them. Um but and then I guess each location has different bugs. So if you want to try and catch them all, which that is actually, I guess, one of the achievements I'm
Achievements.
missing is I have not discovered every
Ooh, you
bug.
missed one.
And then the other
Interesting.
one, so another thing that you can do in the shop portion, well, I guess it's not in the shop portion, but like you can buy what is called an intern. It's
The
probably,
intern.
we should probably say hire. You hire interns. Um, and they basically, so like if you hire an intern and you put them in the one of the meadows, for example, then when the next time you go to the meadow, that intern will be like running around trying to catch bugs.
Yeah.
And they kind of help you, but they are awful. They're inept. They're they're really not good. Um,
Again, the problem is they're so expensive because at that point you already have a bunch of other upgrades that are way more effective than the interns.
yeah.
Um, so if you got one at the start, I could see it helping maybe, but yeah, no, they're just a money hole to clear one of the achievements.
Yeah.
It's
So,
fun.
yeah.
It's a shame because they're funny looking too. Got little glasses, the little parakeets with glasses running off a little
They're
net.
little nerds.
Yeah, yeah. The game visually is very, very charming.
Yes.
Like you just look at one screenshot and you get what they're going for, just cute cartoony stuff.
Yeah. But that's the other
Uh,
achievement I'm missing is there's an achievement called didn't lift a finger and it's let your interns do all of the work in a single round.
yeah.
So I did not get that yet. So I will do that.
Yeah. Um, I I will say, okay, I guess one more thing I can think of. Towards
Hmm.
the end, you start reaching these stages that just clearly all over the place, like you're going out in clouds and space and nonsense, and you start catching fictitious bugs like unicorn stag, unless
Yeah.
there are unicorn stags I don't know of,
I
but
really would not be surprised if there was something called a unicorn stag.
probably. But as far well, at the very least, it's probably not rainbow unicorn colored like in this game. If it is out there, maybe there is. I'll be dead wrong in 20 years, anyways. They'll find it. But
Hmm.
anyways, yeah, they start putting like little magical fun creatures, bugs. But again, this is towards the end, so this is the point where I'm not even seeing these bugs because I'm just click and all bugs get caught right away. Like, but it's fun they did that. And
Uh,
the last,
oh, sorry,
yeah,
go for it.
no, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say the update. Boop, 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 boop. There is a scarab beetle called the Adelaide unicorn beetle. So there are stag beetles that have unicorn in their common name. So
Well, there you go. Um, okay, okay, I'm not gonna as strange as it sounds, there's one thing I would consider a quote unquote spoiler, and obviously there's no story or anything here, but it's a thing I think if you play this game, and I do recommend, it's a fun way to kill, an afternoon with $5.
yeah.
Uh, the actually reaching the credits is a very fun experience. I will
Yes.
not go into it. It's one of the most fun, clever things they did in the game. But and sure enough, it's one of the final upgrades or things you'll unlock. Um, but just I've baited the hook. Go check it out to see what they do for the credits. But
Hmm.
it's a very fun play. Um, yeah, no, that's it. That's all I got.
Yep, I concur. It's a fun game. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I wrote down here or that was part of the thing. Nope. Oh, I guess they also say a relaxing soundtrack with nostalgic mid 2000s aesthetics. I can't
Uh,
remember if I played with music on. I often play my games without music, so um, but I would not doubt it because it is very charming. Okay, so that was the episode. Thank you guys for hanging out and talking, listening to us talk about mostly just about bug diversity and then throwing a bug game at the end of it.
There you go. As
Um,
as is the premise of the month.
Kev, is there anything that you would like to share with the audience?
I'm Cooper is whatever. I'm not that interesting. If you find me,
Yes, you
I
are.
just my online presence isn't that interesting. Well, anyways, that's all. Cody, you got anything?
No, I'm also pretty much I can be found on the Slack. I'm kind of like not I'm phasing out a lot of my social media just because um I get sucked into it pretty heavily, but also as I start looking for gainful employment, I think it'd probably be better if I don't have like a bunch of silly like things. Actually, I should probably just make it private, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Um, but yeah, so you can find me online just with my name anywhere. I kind of dox myself. Or in the Slack. So you can join the Slack by joining the Patreon, patreon.com/THS pod. You not only get access to the Slack, but you also get access to the Greenhouse episodes, which is kind of us talking about non-cottage core things. So that would be where we should talk about bug Pokemon, or I talked to Spencer about God's bug. What did he call it?
Mothra.
Bug kaiju. So big, like Godzilla style bugs that are, or yeah, Godzilla style bugs. Talked about that. Like we also talk about other silly things. For a few years, we talked about Eurovision, but we boycotted it this year. So you can find that all of that through the greenhouse through by going through the Patreon. You can also find the podcast on Tumblr and Blue Sky at THS Pod. And you can go to our website, harvestseason.club, to provide us with feedbacks, get links to the show notes so you can see some of these images and articles that I posted, and get transcripts and things like that. Yeah. Kevin, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Cody, for having me on. We got to do the greenhouse where I show Cody bug Digimon, and she ranks them.
Yes. I think that would also, like a tier list of bug Digimon, I would do that.
Yeah.
I would do that so hard. That'd be fun. Because I'm like
Oh,
really not into Digimon. Like I have not
No, that's fine. Most
like,
people aren't.
which
That's
is
the
great.
normal
Like,
human
well, so
response.
I guess I'm not saying like I'm not into it. Like it sucks. Like I'm saying like I
You're
think
not familiar.
yes, correct. I'm unfamiliar with it because Pokemon
Well,
was kind of the love child of my heart at that time.
yeah, no, no. Well, here's the thing. As a Digimon fan, the depths, it's too much. It's too deep. They
They delved too
unlike
deep.
Pokemon, the goal was not catch them all. It was just go more, go bigger.
Uh-huh.
So the depths of Digimon design are all over the place. I have legitimately no idea how many Digimon designs there are out there, but I'm sure they crossed thousands, like possibly in the 2000s. It's like it's insane. But
Absolutely
anyways, we'll
nuts.
do that.
Yeah, that'd be
That's gonna be
fun.
fun
That would
because
be fun.
you get to see Digimon design philosophy, and
Mm.
that's an experience on its own. You
Ah.
could, in fact, do a tier, not just bug Digimon, any Digimon tier list could, in fact, be done by how hot they are.
Oh,
And so
oh,
you,
oh. I think you might have lost me. I'm sorry.
no, that's part of the ploy. That's part of the ploy.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Darn
Oh,
it! I was gonna spring it on you.
dang it. Like, oh, so we show up, I show up and it's like, oh, I'm surprised. We're ranking them by
No,
how hot they are.
not
We're
by
not,
hotness, but you will. I'm just saying. No, we're not gonna rank them by hotness, but I'm just saying things can get humanoid often very quickly in
they
Digimon.
this is not a low punny area, okay? Like this is
Yeah.
not, we're not doing so funny.
Okay. We're
Well,
good.
thank
All
you.
right.
So yeah, thanks listeners for listening and have a good
Good harvest.
harvest.
The Harvest Season is created by Al McKinley, with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers, Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode.
All right. I have got to hop off. So,
Yeah. Thank you.
uh,
Sorry. I see. I was like,
no worries.
I
That's
gotta go
fine.
fast. I gotta go fast.
That's fine. That's fine.